Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to Supersize Your Business. Today I am making apparently all of my videos sideways, in addition to being totally weird and pixelated. Facebook has changed a bunch of things on this particular page and how I do things. So both my pages that I record on every morning that have undergone not the same changes, but different changes. Since there's so many users on Facebook, they roll out their algorithm to some people at a time, and some of our pages and some of our groups at one time. Well, our idiom, our expression for today, communication related, is hot off the press. Now, I have a fond affinity to this particular idiom and expression because I spent a lot of my years of experience in journalism or journalism related fields. Now, I'm glad to say that I left those in about the early 1990s because journalism and reporting and news and media has definitely taken a massive turn for the worse, in my opinion, when it comes to what they originally were here to do, and that was to serve up the news, let us be informed so we could think for ourselves and make our own decisions. And I think it's been a long time since the news and the media has done that. Again, just my opinion. But this idiom, this expression is from the early 1900s. I don't think it was until the late 1880s before line type presses were available, and before it was hot stamping. There were metal dies actually that were cast for each of the different letters, and they were set up on giant machines that rotate and would print the paper, the newspaper. And so this comes from, of course, newspaper and printing. And the reason it was actually hot metal printing, so the metal was hot, and the press. I worked for a newspaper for a handful of years early on in my corporate career, and it was always hot in the press room, right? And the press was huge. I've been involved in a lot of giant manufacturing organizations. Toilet paper was huge. Printing presses are huge. That's not my department, but that I was ancillary to the press, the hot off the press department. I actually ran the mail room, which is where all the inserting was done. But it basically means, what's the latest news? What's going on? What's important for us to know? Well, how does this apply to our business and growing and building and supersizing our business? To me, in the offline world and the online world, how we roll out new products, new product rollouts, we used to call it in the offline world, and in the online world, we call it launching. The process is much faster, much easier in the online world than it is in the offline world. Some of the projects and products that I personally roll out literally took years, decade to develop, and then years to actually implement, manufacture, and roll out. But it's different for each industry and each business. So, curious, have you ever used the expression? I have definitely used the expression hot off the press, or to get people's attention and to let them know that something new was coming and that it was important that we pay attention to it. And then determine and think for ourselves, what does this mean to us? Whenever there's change in our organization, I encourage myself and other people to say, okay, this is the change that's coming. We may or may not have any control over it, but what are we going to do about it? What does it mean for us, and what are we going to do about it? And how are we going to make choices and decisions for our business moving forward? Love this idiom. I don't know if you have an affinity toward it or not. Some of them we do, some of them we don't. Some of them we use, some of them we don't. Some of them we had the misunderstanding of what they meant, at least in my experience. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.